Hi. I need to take a deep breath. Ooh. Okay, ready? Come on, take a deep breath with me. Come on, you're listening. You might as well take a deep breath with me. Okay, ready? We're going to inhale deep through our nose for a count of 5. Hold at the top. Hold. Fill up your lungs. Fill up your chest. And exhale it all out. Tell me that didn't feel really good. Didn't that feel a little bit good? It felt really nice. So full of spice. Okay, so hi. Here we are, day before the podcast drops in the afternoon, because I was trying all morning to record it, but my card was full and there's just been technical issues, and so here we are again. And this was one of the things that Steven would always take care of, all the technical stuff. And, obviously we're living separate and it's a whole thing. And so I'm learning how to do things on my own. And it's a process, and I'm doing it. So that's all that matters, is that we're trying. A for effort. Okay, so I want to say that my emotions have been insane recently. Not insane, but just kind of up and down. And I do think that, yes, it's circumstance, but it's also hormonal. I'm definitely due for my period any day. So super emotional and hungry and tired and sad. And that's okay. That's okay. I have noticed that certain people almost get offended by my happiness, or offended that I don't seem as bothered as they want me to be about my situation. And I have to just look at that as the whole hurt people thing, where if those people are in pain and they see me in a situation that on the outside doesn't look good, and I'm handling it in a way to where I don't seem depressed all the time, they think I'm a psychopath, or I don't know. I've just been getting comments like, how are you so happy, And yeah, this whole situation is very difficult, and I have not been posting every day, so to those people, it's like, you don't see me every day. I post a podcast once a week. That's really what I'm doing. And then I'll do some stories, an occasional reel or TikTok. But like, I've really scaled way back. And I even contemplated not even doing a weekly podcast, but I kind of have to keep something going. You can't, just because you have a breakup or separation, you can't just fully stop working. You still have a family to raise and bills to pay. And so I thought, this is like I'm lucky that I even get to scale back to this amount right now. But, I try and keep this podcast as much about myself as possible, but I will say that it has been really difficult seeing the daily posts from Steven around this circumstance. I have been really struggling mentally around it. You'll be happy to know that I've been sad. Does that make you happy? Been crying. Oh. Just kidding. But yeah, I have been struggling a bit with it all. It was not my decision to share this separation with the world. I had what I thought was a private conversation with him a month ago, saying that I wanted to separate. And then the next morning I'm getting bombarded with calls and texts. Are you okay? Are you okay? I'm like, what's happening? And I go on Instagram and I see a video titled, I separated from my wife. And I was just so shocked, because I did not know that this news was going to be public. And, I confronted him about it. I said, why not at least tell me that you're going to announce it to the public? And he was like, you can't tell me what to do. And then I wasn't in my right mind. I was like, okay. And then it kind of just continued on, and it has continued on. And now it's literally every day I wake up and it's what's it going to be today? And I'm like, I've been really trying to not look and also understand, he's his own person on his own path. And I'm, I'm conflicted because I'm proud of him for being vulnerable and for connecting with his audience and being consistent and, generating income, which is helping the family. All of that is wonderful. But then I'm also God damn it. You're talking about such personal issues and I have no say in it. And that's really hard. The fact of the matter is I have not processed this separation. I'm in it. I'm freshly in it. And on top of being freshly in this separation with a 1 and a 3-year-old, I also have the opinions and thoughts from thousands of strangers coming at me. And I've decided to, scale back on my social media presence. And really, when I do post, try and keep it about me. Try not to go into too much detail on everything. But he has decided something entirely different. And when I'm in resistance with that, and I'm like, how could he? And, he's disrespecting me and he should ask for my consent. And, I always, whenever I would write about him in my books or videos or whatever, I always ask him, hey, read this. Are you okay with it? If you're not okay with it, I'll take it out, because I just felt like, I don't know, but he is who he is, and he's going to do what he's going to do. And I can fight it and resist it, which leads to suffering and anger and sadness and fear. Or I can just surrender and accept people for exactly who they are and not subject myself to, to that criticism. My part is looking at the videos, because you wake up and it's why we separated part 2. And it's why did we separate? What are you going to say? What? And so how can I not watch this deeply, deeply personal, video, YouTube video about our situation? So then I see, and then of course I look at the comments, and what do you know? There's these women saying she's a terrible wife. How could she leave him when he's suffering? Something's really off about her as a mom and a wife. And then Sharon says, oh, I agree with you, Tina. Something's off. I would never leave my man when he's down and out. How dare she? What a ruthless cunt. I agree with you, Sharon, Tina. She's such a dumb, lanky bitch. Never liked her. What a piece of shit. Here's the thing, Sharon, Tina, Dina. Y'all don't know me, and y'all don't know the details. Y'all don't know. You know as much as he's telling you, and that's it. And at the end of the day, Tina, Dina, and Sheena can think whatever the fuck they want about me. Because I know that I'm a great mom, and I know that I've made the right decision for me and for my children and for Steven, literally. If only Tina, Dina, and Sheena knew that Steven was over this morning and we had a really great, loving conversation. We hung out with the kids a bit. We talked about how well the separation was going and how it's exactly what we needed. And we were able to talk about, I put a couple more boundaries in place, and it went really well today, Dina, Tina, and Sheena. Okay? So y'all don't know shit. Y'all don't know what you're talking about. But my part is reading those comments, and then I call my mom crying, going, they think I'm a bad mom and a bad wife for leaving him. And, but again, I'm choosing to not go into the details of everything because I don't think it's anyone's business right now. And, we have been open books, but I am not ready to share a lot of this. I'm not ready. I was not ready to tell everyone that we were separated. I wasn't ready. I still have not processed this. I am still in shock. And when people then criticize me for seeming okay, I'll say a couple things on that. A, I don't have a fucking choice. I've got a 1 and a 3-year-old, and they need at least one stable parent who's there and happy and present and consistent with them. They need that. I don't get to have a breakdown. I don't get to go into a depressive hole. That is not an option for me. B, I'm blessed enough to have a healthy brain. It's not a perfect brain, but it's healthy enough to make healthy choices. I am blessed enough to be able to have a brain that allows me to make healthy choices, that allows me to catch the self-destructive, harmful thoughts and say, nope, not today. Nope, I'm going to go ahead and choose to lead with love here and love myself and not go into a self-destructive mode. I'm lucky enough to have a brain that allows me to make healthy choices for myself. So that's what I'm going to do. I don't want to suffer. And suffering is just resisting the reality of what's going on. And so I have to, every time, I had a moment the other day, I was walking Poppy, and I had this really sad moment of, it was a beautiful day and I was taking her for a walk and Steven was out with Alfie. Sorry. And I had this really I got this deep, deep sadness because I thought, damn, this should be the whole family. The whole family should be walking together. This should be a family walk, but our family is broken. And our family is no longer the same. And it was a moment, and it was a really sad, deep sadness. And then I thought, okay, no, it's not broken. It's different. It's not broken. It's different. And if I'm honest, when we were living together, I used to have to beg him to go on walks because he didn't want to go on the walks. So really, it was always my dream to have these walks with the family because I thought it was best for the kids and for us. But that wasn't Steven's idea of fun. So now he no longer has to do them. And once I accepted that, yeah, it doesn't look the way I thought it was going to, but this is actually pretty beautiful right now. I get to take a walk with my daughter while Steven's out with Alfie. And then I get to take her back, put her down for a nap, and read a book. That's beautiful. And that's really nice. And it's not maybe what I thought it was going to be, but it's really lovely. And there's beauty in the reality of what is. But when I'm fighting the reality and going, it should be the family, then I get deep sadness. Or when I'm fighting the reality of the fact that Steven has chose to post a daily video around our situation. And yeah, it's uncomfortable. And yeah, it subjects us to criticism from strangers that is hard to see. And you just want to go, if only you knew. Oh, really? Because, and it's, no, fuck that. I'm not going to go there. I'm just saying it has been a struggle this week specifically. It has been. Even take the videos away, and there have been, arguments and things, and so it has not been all, rainbows and butterflies. I need to get really strong about not looking at comments and just, oh my God, I did this meditation this morning. Whew, I was bawling. I mean, it was amazing. So it's this guy called Joe Dispenza, and he's so brilliant. Look up his videos on YouTube. Joe Dispenza, I believe his name is. But he has these guided meditations, and oh my God, I was like, all right, I'm going to do like 10 minutes of this meditation and move on. It was 35 minutes. I ended up doing the entire 35-minute meditation, and I was crying like a baby, but like the really good tears. Basically, it started off with this really deep breathing, and I swear to you, I felt like I was on pure MDMA. Like, I was all tingly everywhere. I don't know. There's something really powerful about deep breathing. They call it pranayama, I believe. Right? That's like a yoga term. Whatever. Oxygen is the most vital nutrient we can get. So if you really breathe in deep and hold it in, it's pretty powerful. And turns out you don't need drugs. You don't need drugs. You can just use oxygen. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just using oxygen. I'm just smoking oxygen. You inhale really, really deep and you hold it in, and then I just get all tingly. So I did that for like 10 minutes. And then he has you visualize like all the characteristics or all the parts of yourself that you want to get rid of. Like, what are those things? What do you want to say goodbye to about yourself? And immediately what popped in is like my codependency and my, being weak and dependent and needy and insecure and feeling like I'm not whole on my own, but that I need a man to fill me up and complete me. Bye to all of that. Bye. No. So those are the things that came to mind for me, but whatever they are for you, like, what are the parts of yourself that you're done with, that don't serve you, that are causing you pain and fear that you don't need? Like, what are those parts? Bring them to your attention. And then he had you then think about the person that you do want to be and the characteristics that you do want to have. And visualize those things as if you have them. And immediately what came to mind was wholeness, feeling whole, feeling strong, feeling worthy, feeling love and driven by love. Whole, strong, worthy, full of love, full of gratitude, able to be fully present and content in this moment. Content just as things are right now. That is what came to me. And that felt so good. It felt so good to feel that and soak that in, that I was ready to say goodbye to the needy, insecure, broken dependent Laura. Bye-bye, bitch. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. Then I think he had you visualize what you wanted in your future as if it was already happening. And so I had these really strong, powerful visualizations of things that I've always wanted to do, but I've been too scared to do. And I visualized myself doing those things. Like one of them was actually a live show that I've always wanted to write, but I've always been too terrified to write it because I have this fear of being like booed off stage. And so I was like, let me just stay in my safe spot behind the camera, like in my living room, because that's like my safe spot. But it's not safe to like go out. And I just visualized me like hugging all of these women. It got pretty gay. No, but I visualized me just like connecting with tons of women and getting vulnerable and, you know, connecting with them. I don't know. This just came to me and I was happy about it. And having like a really strong, loving connection with my kids and just being there, so continuing to be their safe space. Because recently, like I am a gentle parent till the end, but like I've been really tested recently with my 3-year-old. He's just been like super defiant, just fucking, I'll make him this crazy good meal that he's begging for, and then he has one bite and chucks it across the room, and there's just olive oil and pesto everywhere. And then after he chucks the food, then he's whoosh, 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 swatting me. Then he does the devil scream. What the fuck was that, boy? And it's like, I don't know, it's just been testing me. And I try not to raise my voice, but sometimes I do. And then I'm angry with myself because, and it's really sad because every time I raise my voice, you know, he looks at me and goes, hug. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, how do you want to hug me right now? I just yelled at you. And I don't mean to. And I know every parent's been there, and I'm not beating myself up over it. And of course I hug him and make it a safe space. But I just visualized myself having more patience with my kids and just really always being a safe space for them. Not perfect, but just always being there and being able to be really patient when they're having those meltdowns, just taking a breath and letting them have them, and then just being that safe space. So I visualize that. And just like Steven and I, you know, having a very, you know, loving relationship. However it turns out with us, we are always going to be, you know, co-parents. Like we are always going to have a connection. And I never, ever wanted to get ugly. I genuinely, regardless of what happens between us, I just want the best for him. Like I want him to be happy. And I'm even as uncomfortable as these videos make me, because they really do, I am still happy for him that he's, you know, finding his voice and he's consistent and he's doing his thing and he's, you know, writing a new piece of music a week, and has this great idea for a series that I want to help him produce. And I just genuinely want him to be happy. And he seems to be doing all the things, all the therapies and things like that. And, you know, we're both just taking this time and healing ourselves. And that's all I want. I just want peace. I deserve a peaceful life. You deserve a peaceful life. And at the end of the day, I just want a peaceful, loving life, an amazing relationship with my kids, with, you know, Steven. I want to, you know, I think it's really important to have intention with whatever we're doing in our lives. So is to have a clear intention of why we're doing it. And no matter what you're doing, you know, if you're a baker or an accountant or a plumber or a creator or a hairstylist, like, I don't know, just caring about what we do and how it affects people is makes life more meaningful. I don't know if that makes sense. So to just be like, I want to create content for the sake of it. No, like I got into this to make people laugh because I knew I was good at making people laugh. So I was like, oh, let me make people laugh online because I'm good at it. And I want to make people laugh everywhere. Like that was my obsession. And I did that. And then I started becoming more vulnerable and doing things that weren't necessarily funny, but I realized like my vulnerability connects with a lot of women, and that was really meaningful to me too. So I was like, okay, cool. I can let women know they're not alone in this, that, and the other. And so now my new sort of intention around my work is my goal and my intention is to inspire and entertain millions of women around the world. So like, it's not just to entertain and make them laugh, but it's also to hopefully inspire in any little way or, you know, connect with them in any little way. So anyway, that's the intention. I don't know why I'm telling you this. Was it because of this powerful meditation? Maybe it was, but it was telling you to visualize, you know, your future and like how you want it to look. And that's kind of what I was visualizing, was entertaining and inspiring women through this show that I've always wanted to write, that I've always been too scared to write. That's what came to me, and just like having a really strong connection with my children and being their safe space. Anyway, that's kind of it. That's like all I have today. I'm going to ignore the haters, and, you know, I just want you to know that no matter what you're going through, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. We're not being chased by a lion. We're just listening to a podcast right now, and see, we're okay. So, my advice that you did not ask for is to just try and stay in today. Don't think about what's going to happen in a week or a month or a year, or what did happen last week or last month or last year, but just bring yourself back to today. See, are you in resistance, or are you accepting your reality exactly as it is right now? And are you acting from a place of love or fear? Are your decisions based on fear and lack, or love and abundance? Those things are very, very helpful for me, and maybe they'll be helpful for you. And that's all I have. Y'all, if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please hit the subscribe button and the like button, and leave a comment. Share your experience, strength, and hope with me. I love to read your comments because your comments are nice. And then also, if you're listening to this, you can just like it on Spotify or Apple or something. Wherever you listen to podcasts, just follow it. I think you just hit the follow button. So do that. And I wrote 2 books, and you can listen to those. You probably like listening to things because you're listening to the thing right now. So if you want to listen to more things, I wrote 2 books. You can just look them up on Audible. Just type in my name. And that is it. I love you, and we're going to be fine. Everything's going to be fine. It's fine. It's all fine. It's actually, you know what? Actually, it's actually okay. It's actually fine. Like, if you really think about it, it's fine. It's actually fine. Because it's our thoughts that tell us that it's not fine. And the thoughts are 9 out of 10, like, not even true. So we're actually fine right now. Like, we're fine. Okay. On that note, I'm going to go be fine, and you go be fine, because we're fine. And we're fine. We're fine. Everything's fine. Okay.